Hi, this is Kylie Coo. Welcome to my studio. So, in the Mixed Media Emporium Facebook group, link below, we are continuing to look at some different kind of mixed media techniques, just some fun techniques to use in art journaling pages, in artist trading cards, or in whatever way you want. And this week we are going to look at wax resist. Probably one of the oldest, most commonest types of technique that most of us know. Many of us will have tried it in our school days. So that's what I'm going to do today. Now, this has turned out to be a bit of a project nightmare for me. I started this a bit later than usual, but I'd laid everything out, and because it was sunny today and I'd left the stuff sitting on a table that was in the sun, everything melted. So, well, not melted, but went soft. And when I tried a couple of little practices, it went wrong. So I've had to take this tea light candle and I've just shaved a bit off it because I want to use it a little bit thinner than the full candle itself. So I just use my craft knife to take a bit off. I've got a piece of smooth watercolour paper that I think is about 10 inches by 7 inches. I've got some watercolour paints, and I'm basically just going to see what I can get. I had been going to experiment today for you. I'd been going to do watercolour, I'd been going to do brush pens, and I'd been going to do acrylics. But I have literally ran out of time. So yeah. So I might use the candle whole, but I think I'm just going to use these little pieces. So I'm going to put this on at double speed because you're not going to see much just now anyway. So I am just going to basically make marks. You can't see them, I couldn't see them either. It was simply a case of getting some marks down before I start to put the paint down. So I had actually been going to try it with some oil pastels, but as I say, I'd left them, they got a bit warm, and yeah, I did try it on a practice sheet and that just wasn't working at all. So here I go, I'm taking some watercolours and you'll see right away that some of those marks are coming out. I decided that I wanted to go for some nice warm bright colours today. I think after my little disasters from earlier, disaster, keep it in perspective, it's not really a disaster as such, but just sometimes things don't work out as you plan, so just one of those things. So yeah, just playing about with some colours on this and doing a little bit of blending as I go along, trying not to make mud, but inevitably I will make a little bit of mud because that was just the type of day it was. But I fortunately notice it quite quickly and I'm able to get to retrieve the situation. So really just looking to get down as much as possible. The other thing that had happened was when I took out my watercolour set, I dropped it from a bit of a height, so some of the colours had popped out of the holder and they're now not in the order I don't think that my swatch card's in. So at some point I'm going to have to sit and make another swatch card. So there we go, I've got a first layer on, you can see the marks that I made, and it's pretty colourful at that. But what I want to do is I'm going to give it just a little minute or two to dry. I think I might have already done that. I just switched the camera off and started it just more or less a minute, 2 minutes later. But I'm just going to take that candle again and I'm just going to go over it. Actually, I think it was still wet at this point because I can see the paint moving. I just wanted to get another couple of marks in there and then I'll do another layer of the watercolour. So as I say, just trying to make something bright and cheerful today. Yeah, so that's damp. I leave it literally 2 minutes and then I come back to do another layer. Of course, I didn't want to take a heat tool to it because that could have melted the wax, although I do end up doing that a little bit later. So just going back in with some more colour, trying to keep it bright. I think the darker colours definitely show up the wax that bit more. Just trying to blend it there just a little bit. Blend the colours in. I don't want them to look like blobs. I do want them to be kind of blended. So you can do this with acrylics, just need to water them down a little bit, and you can do it with the likes of brush pens, really anything water soluble. If you were using as your base to get the wax something like Neocolor 2s, it would not work as well, because although they've got a slight wax to them, they are water soluble. So you do want something like a wax pastel that is not water soluble, albeit that sometimes you can get a little bit of movement in them as well. So, but you know, it's all about experimenting. This for me is just a kind of fun project. I do like the way this turns out in the end, but yeah, it perhaps wasn't quite what I'd intended to do today, but never mind. So just putting that colour on, it's nice, it's bright, it's cheerful, and you know, I just keep adding bits here and there. As I say, many of us will have tried the kind of wax resist at school. It was like something magic when you did it and put the colour over it and you could see the marks that you made. So yeah, it started to make mud there, so just lifting it with my paint rag, and I'll just go in with a different colour. So blending that in as best as possible. So this turns out to be a very quick project today, and yeah, it is what it is in a sense. So I'm still playing catch up, trying to catch up with comments, trying to catch up with posts in the Mixed Media Emporium, and one of these days I will get fully caught up. I don't know where time goes at the moment. It's one of those strange things from time to time where it just seems to run away without realising. Okay, so I am going to dry it with the heat tool. Now I did keep this very high up from it. I was trying not to. One word of caution, if you maybe know this, but you know, it's just something I've found over the years. When I've used anything waxy in my art journals, and I've turned a page and I've done a new page and I've gone to dry it with a heat tool, sometimes the wax on the other side has actually started to melt, and the two pages then kind of start to stick together. So just something to be wary of. I just share that because, you know, these things happen to me all the time, and you know, you kind of just learn from it. So all I'm doing now is I've taken some gel pens. I think this is just an ordinary biro pen, you know, ballpoint pen, and I'm just going to start to make marks. I could have left it as it was, but you know, I just felt it needed something more, so I decided just to do some mark making. Just doing a couple of patterns there that I would sometimes do, you know, on the edge of ATCs or whatever. I do have a short video on doing borders for the likes of ATCs or art journal pages, so I will link that above, because some of them looked a little bit like some of them that I'd done there. I was really just playing by this point, trying to relax into it and just enjoy kind of doodling and mark making, just trying to bring this to life a bit just with those marks. And I always find that this is something that's, you know, quite good to do if you're sitting and you don't know what to do. Then basically get some colour down on a page and make marks. It's something you can do sitting in front of the TV, or you can even do it sitting in bed if you've got a page where you've got some colour on it, and just sit and make marks. And it's amazing how it can be quite meditative, and it's just a way to relax. So I'm just looking at different colours of my gel pens. These are not a branded make, these just came from a supermarket, and yeah, I got them a while ago. Just bring them out every so often because they're in quite a range of colours, and they just work quite well for something like this. You'll see that in certain places even these don't go over the wax, and that's fine. That's part of the fun, is still going back and in. You know, that was very much kind of, the wax was resisting in that bit there. So, as I say, if you're not a member of the Mixed Media Emporium but would like to join the Facebook group, then there is a link below. Just a little reminder that there are some basic questions that you need to answer, and very simple, straightforward questions. If you don't see them, then do let myself or Nina or one of the admins know, but you need to answer them to be able to gain access to the Mixed Media Emporium. And once you're in, you know, we always look forward to seeing your creations related to the prompts that Nina and I come up with. It's a very friendly and supportive group, and you know, it really is a joy to be a part of it. And of course, Nina will have a video this week. I'm hoping that she's had a little bit better success than I had, although I get there in the end. It's a basic project, but I'm quite pleased with it in the end. But you know, I don't know what she'll have been doing, so of course check her out, and I will leave a link to her video below. So I get the Sharpie pen, and I'm keen to see where I leave the Sharpie pen, if it's still on the screen, because it has since gone walkabout. Not for the first time do I have something one moment and it disappears the next. I know I'm not alone in that. I know when I've said that before, others of you have commented. It's funny how you can work in such a small space and yet things just seem to disappear. So just, you know, using the white there, I think white and black for me always just help lift anything. And the other bits of colours with the doodles I think were quite good to do as well. They just help bring it alive. But certainly black and white I think always add a certain something to each kind of page like this. And of course this is something I could do literally for hours, could fill just about every little space with marks. I think it just changes the dynamic, changes the energy of the piece. I'm not sure what I'll go on to make this into. You know, it almost becomes a little mini masterboard, so I might copy it and use it for other projects. I might just cut it up and use it for artist trading cards. So there we go, just letting you see little bits and a bit more close up. So there'll be a couple of still images at the end for you to see, and of course I will link that other video that I mentioned along with the playlist to the other mixed media techniques that we've been doing this month. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. Bye for now.